Good morning, London town. Welcome to A Scott Talk, a Philly show, MediaNet Live TV. Shout out to management, shout out to the producers, shout out to everybody that's been following the A Scott Talk journey and just following the way I've been journalizing and documenting various things that have been going on within our community. And our Philly show is all about that. It's a community show, and every week, A Scott Talk, I interview I interview real people and they tell their real life stories. As you know, one of my mantras is everybody's got a story to tell. Everybody has a story to tell. At A Scott Talk, between my radio presenting, where I present the business community entrepreneur show, and every week I bring on people from the business world, the startup businesses, and even charitable organizations, and I interview them and they tell their story. To our Philly show, where we bring on real people and they tell their stories. A Scott Talk, I'm documenting everything that's going on in our community, audibly and visually. As you know, my normal programming schedule is I do a weekly TV show, a Philly show on a Monday. But due to what's going on with this current epidemic, we've been broadcasting live all week and streaming from the A Scott Talk studios to various locations around the world. I've had the pleasure of interviewing doctors. We've had not one, but two doctors on our show this week, and they've shared their experiences and their opinions from an academic point of view on what they think is going on with this current coronavirus. Today, I don't really want to dwell on too much coronavirus because I think we're all getting a bit fed up with it. But as you know, one of the things that ACE teaches and my mantra is entrepreneurship. And over the last 9 months, I've interviewed so many momtrepreneurs. And for those of you that don't know what a momtrepreneur is a mother, a full-time mother, because as we know, being a mother is a full-time job. And a momtrepreneur is a mum and an entrepreneur put together. So then we have a momtrepreneur. So not only is some of these women full-time mothers, which is such a commendable achievement in itself, because being a full-time mother is exhausting. It's 24 hours a day. Being a mum, you never switch off. But some of our sisters have managed to still run successful businesses. So we call them not entrepreneurs, but momtrepreneurs. So today on the A Scott Talk, a Philly show, we're going to be broadcasting live into two momtrepreneurs' homes, and they're going to be telling us their experiences firsthand, how they're coping with the current epidemic. So without further ado, let's bring on today's guests, Nicola Carter and Natasha. We Care family. What, sisters? What? How you doing?
Hi, we're good. How are you? We're good, man.
I'm good.
Meet Irie, as I put out on one of my social media platforms, I said, they call it social distancing is easy for me. When last y'all seen Ace in person? Do the maths. It's got to. I'll say it again. Social distancing is easy for me. When last y'all saw Ace in person? Do the maths. But today's show ain't about me. It's about you two lovely, beautiful sisters. You're both momtrepreneurs, serious business women in your fields, as well as full-time mums. So starting first with you, Nicola, just we're gonna start nice and easy, and then we're gonna build up the vibe, yeah? So nice and easy. I'm gonna give you an easy question. I'm gonna direct it to you. Free your thoughts.
Free my thoughts.
Yeah.
Right now, I am in, as always, I'm sure like last time we spoke, I said the same thing. I'm walking now in a spirit of gratitude. Like there is so much to be grateful for. I'm doing very well personally, doing very well emotionally. I'm actually grateful for this time to spend with my family, to spend with my son and my husband. I think, I heard the other day that, how many times have people prayed for days off work? How many times have people prayed for just like a break, just to catch up and refresh and reboot? And this period of time, even though it's come about unexpectedly, and obviously there's the downsides to it, I'm just grateful. Like I'm enjoying, just reconnecting and having that time, because, when you are busy and you've got work and you've got your private businesses that you're working on, family time can take a hit, and I'm just grateful that I'm able to just actually, be here, and we're okay. My family is good. We're keeping in touch. We're video calling where we can. God is good. I'm happy.
Absolutely beautiful. And the beautiful Tasha, We Care family, same goes to you. Free your thoughts.
Yes, this is a time to catch up on things that you need to do around the house, do your garden, sleep. Oh my God, as a mumpreneur, we are up and down all the time. So actually, Nicola's right. It's just a nice time to spend with your children or child and catch some rest and just rejuvenate yourself, and also just kind of prepare yourself mentally as well for what may come. You have to always be prepared, as I always say. But yeah, it's a nice time to just be still in the moment. Obviously, there's the downside of people are getting sick and we have to stay in our homes. But do you know what? We spend 90% of our time out on the road. So sometimes, not for too long, I hope this doesn't go on for too long, but we do need to stop and just take a moment. So this allows us to do that.
Absolutely brilliant. What a beautiful, positive opening from you two beautiful sisters. Just to paraphrase some of the things that came out of that, I like the fact that Nicola said gratitude. Gratitude is always important, and I think we as a community right now need to just be very mindful and just meditate in that space of gratitude. We live in a world that is driven by materialism and is driven by greed. Everybody is always what's more. It's a very me world we live in, and we lose perspective of what's important, and even the most simple things on a day-to-day basis we take for granted. So what this particular period of time has done is it has brought everybody back to ground zero. It doesn't matter whether you're rich or you're poor, whether you're young or you're old. This situation has just balance the playing field with an equilibrium. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Mm-hmm. So, those that practice mindfulness and gratitude on a regular basis, this is just another day in the office. But for those that might have been very materialistic and very greedy and very, just driven by wanting more all the time, this can just balance things out. So I think that's very important. I like the fact that Nicola also mentioned the fact that you've used this time to just spend with quality time with the family, which I think is very important. And it goes back to that good old community spirit. I think in the last 100 years with this industrial revolution and the way technology has just propelled us so fast, we've lost a lot of those basic humanitarian values that we had, of just spending time with each other, quality time, and just actually interacting with each other. How often do people get together in groups and you see 3-4 people in the room, but everyone's on their phone? 4 people in the same room, but no one's communicating. So these things are very important. So, and like Nicola also mentioned, it is definitely a time to reconnect. So, it goes back to what I put out in a previous video the last few days. Is your glass half full or half empty? It really just depends who's looking at it, And as much as all the nonsense is going on out there, and we know all about that, so I don't think we need to regurgitate the given, so to speak. But we can use this time to, through gratitude, look at our glasses being half full and take a lot of good from this period of time. What I'm now, I feel with time. I want to them, just like I feel with sure 2020, I feel with time. Some boy feel like. Respect sisters. Respect for opening up with such with such positivity, you know, but without dwelling on too much doom and gloom, obviously Corona has affected the whole country, not just the whole country, but the whole world. You know, literally it's put a brakes on everything that everybody was doing, you know, and just tell us, first starting with yourself, Nicola, how has this epidemic affected you, you know, and in the short term, and what do you plan to do in the long term? Because I remember I had a little brief chat with you last night, and I was on the phone saying, yo, sis, you got enough food? Are you all right? The kids all right? Everybody all right? And you were saying, yeah, we've done a little. So I was like, yo, how much weeks you think you can last? So, not big man thing. It's a serious conversation. Like, how much, you know, how long you think you can last before it gets a bit peak out there? So, Corona is affecting everybody in the short term. It's affected everybody, so the whole world. And I know, so just tell us, how's that affected your business in the short term, and what do you plan to do in the long term? Because as we know, a lot of people, and the reality, are living just literally paycheck to paycheck. Mm-hmm. You understand? Yeah. And people don't go 2-3 months without no salary coming in, and it starts to get a little bit political out there. So, how are you as a entrepreneur raising a family? How are you? What's your short term? How does it look for you, and what's your long term plans if things get political?
Yeah. So, you know, what I'm thankful for is that, you know, about 6 months ago, I actually seriously started looking into my financial situation and started to diversify my streams of income. So I have multiple streams of income, not just my salary. Now, personally, even though, you know, my employer is still paying, like I'm okay, I'm working from home. I also don't have to worry because I have my business, which is bringing in not only trading income, investment income, but also a residual income as well. So I've actually got 2 other streams still coming in. In terms of my trading, like, you know, the trading foreign currencies and stuff like that, we're unaffected really by what is going on, because, you know, it's a means of recession-proof investment. Really, we can trade whether the market is going up, whether it's coming down, and so as a team, we're pretty comfortable, we're pretty stable. This hasn't affected us too much. So, you know, in terms of, you know, doing the shopping and the practical day-to-day stuff, for me, I just wanted to be reasonable with it because, you know, I know how to make food stretch. I know how to make food last. You know, times weren't always as nice as they are now. So I'm well used to looking in a cupboard and seeing nothing but flour and seasoning and still having to put down a meal. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm doing all right with this. But I didn't want to. What I was aware of is that in the bulk buying, that panic that came before where we are now, that kind of precipitated the empty shelves that we're seeing. Do you see what I mean? It's like that panic caused like the more vulnerable people in our society to become more vulnerable. And so I didn't really want to lead into that. Do you see what I mean? I'm kind of leading the household shopping with a reasonability, because it's not just me, it's us. Do you see what I mean? It's not about me and my family, it's we. So as long as we look after each other and we make sure each of us has enough, we will all be okay. If the reason, you know, the minute we start hoarding and trying to get extra, someone is going without. And that's just, you know, universal laws. You have to share it out. It can't just be about you. It can't just be about your family. You have to look out for everybody, because everybody is your family.
Absolutely amazing. And that is music to my ears. I've got my notepad. I'm scribbling notes as we're talking, you know. But do you know what was beautiful, sister? Is what you said about it's not about me, it's about us. And you know, it's got talk. That's the mantra and that's the spirit. Just like they talk about every year when they have their little Christmas, they talk about the Christmas spirit is in the air, right? The same way we have a spirit that runs through our community, and you feel it, and I feel it, and Tasha feels it, and we all connect through it through the business community entrepreneur platforms that I've been creating for the last 12 months. But that is the spirit that runs through our community, and it's not about individualism. You know what I mean? It's about thinking as a collective, and if we always think as a collective, we will always be good as a collective, because we all work as one. And on that note, I just wanted to put out there, do you know, the last show I did, at the end of the show, I put out an appeal, because at the moment what we've been doing is very humbly, and I didn't want really no big social media hype over this, but very humbly, we've been actually distributing groceries throughout the community to our vulnerable members, single mums like yourselves that, some of the single mums that might be at home that can't get out, can't get groceries, they've got sick kids. We've even had terminally ill members of our community contact us and say, look, hey, I've just come out of hospital, I'm terminally ill with cancer, I can't get out, can you get some groceries to us? And through a network of volunteers that we've set up across the country nationally, we've actually been able to get groceries to the sick and the vulnerable. But in order for us to continue, all donations, whether they be financial or resources, are appreciated. So if anybody wants to help continue what we're doing as part of Real Talk Radio, CIC, engineer, put the website in the comments, is www.realtalkradio.co.uk. Please make a donation on the health services page. By the end of today, we'll have 2 forms up on that page. One for anybody that wants help and wants assistance during these, unprecedented times. There's a form that you will be able to fill out on our website, and you can put in your area, what services you require, etc. Likewise, if there's anybody that wants to help with the volunteering, there'll be a form on the website. That's www.realtalkradio.co.uk under help services. Anyone wants to volunteer. I just want to say at this stage as well, a big thank you to all the volunteers that have been working 24 hours a day around the clock to go out and do groceries. Do grocery shopping for the vulnerable members of our community and drop off and make those deliveries. So yeah, what we've done, AceCot Talk, Real Talk Radio, MediaNet TV, we've started a health services for the most vulnerable in our community. So we'll put a link in the comments below. So yeah, thanks for everybody that's supporting that so far. Tasha, sweetie. I know your situation is slightly different from Nicola's, and not to talk people's business, but Nicola is married. She's got a husband and a family to support. She's a momtrepreneur. You are, on the other hand, a single parent, and I know not only do you look after your son full time, but you also are a carer of your grandmother who lives quite a distance away from you.
Yeah.
And I know you make regular trips every day, doing the school run, dropping off your son, going to check on your grandmother, make sure she's all right because she's an elderly parent, and then you have to go and manage your day in terms of your business, and then pick up your son, make sure your grandma's all right. So just explain to us, for someone like yourself, how has this epidemic affected you? How has it affected the care that you're able to give your grandma? Because I know they've told you to stay away from the elderly. And obviously you've got your son now who's not at school. So how are you coping? And what opportunity can we offer you?
It's been a juggle, but also kind of a rest for me, if I'm honest with you, because I'm always up and down, as you know. But it's all about being organised. So organising your time. Thank God for FaceTime. So as you know, I look after my gran. I go and see her every day just to make sure she's okay. But because she's a vulnerable person, we've stayed away. I can't risk going around her and threatening her life. So for me, this is quite serious because I see that woman every single day, and now we have to keep away. So thank God for technology. But also the homeschooling is a bit challenging because we haven't been to school for a long time. And I have to clap for the teachers because they have a patience that as a parent, I just don't have. Also, I think juggling that with work because I've had to bring the whole work system from home. It's just a bit of a juggle, but as long as you manage your time, do what you can and just take it in a calm way, I think it will be okay. We've handled worse than this, I think, in life. So it's just about us managing, keeping still and managing the resources that we have. And as Nicola said, not being greedy, thinking of others, and also being quite mindful of our neighbours who are quite elderly, because some elderly people actually don't have people around them. So it's good just to keep an eye out for your neighbours and others as well at this time.
Yeah, no, I hear that. And I like the way that Nicola dropped in there that we as a community, we used to make a food stretch. You know, there where's there when 2 times catch we now have to make you know, make a tin of corned beef and some cabbage chips, right? But for yourself being a single parent, if this epidemic was to prolong, you know, into 3, maybe 6 months, lockdown situation, hypothetically speaking, how would you financially cope?
I mean, I'm quite lucky. I can still run my business during this time, and I've got provisions in place. But 6 months is a long time, so I don't know. I'm lucky that I have many talents, not just financial advice, but also helping businesses. So I've always been having multiple streams of income in that sense. So I just have to turn my business around or just make it move in the direction of the current climate. But it's really important also knowing how to manage your money and what you have in your kitchen as well, because that's what's important. As long as you guys have food in the fridge or provisions to make the meal, then as I said, I'll be okay and we'll be okay. It's just, I hope it will stretch for 6 months. That's a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, both of yourself and Nicola mentioned multiple streams of income, you know, and humbly, I would like to say, I think that's been the mantra for a long time, you know, is about creating multiple streams of income and putting systems in place where you're self-sufficient and you don't have to rely on anybody else. Nicola, you're shaking your head there. For a long time, I mean, I drop things in little subliminals, and I for a long time I've said, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for the day. You teach a man how to fish, he can feed his family for a lifetime. So, Nicola, you shake your head. Do you just want to elaborate on some of the ways that you've been able to self-sustain yourself through multiple streams of income? And after all, this is Ace Got Talk is renowned for doing the business community entrepreneur show. So share some of those gems with some of the single mums at home, or mums with families that are married that would more often want to be in the same position as you, be a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more relaxed, because we're not going to put fear into people. We're going to spread positivity. And like I said, rather than give a man a fish, just start teaching our community how they can fish and feed their family for a lifetime. Ace Got Talk to the world.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I'm fortunate that what I'm able to do is actually I've learnt to trade in foreign currency from my phone. So essentially the same way how people would, go on holiday and they say they swap the Great British Pound for, say, the US dollar. And, you know about looking around for the best exchange rate so you get the most money, right? It's just the same principle, but except you do it from your phone. And once you learn to do that, you're able to actually generate an income for yourself. All you need is Wi-Fi and a phone, and you can trade. So I use a platform of education, and what I actually do as well, which has got me another stream of income, is I've turned that skill into a business. So I now help other people who along that same journey. So these are people from different walks of life. We have grandparents learning, we have people teaching their kids, we have retired people, we have fully people with 2 or 3 businesses already, we have academics, we have creatives. Anybody can learn this. So I'm actually able to receive a passive income or residual income from helping those people. And right now our team is around 40 people, 40 strong. So it's grown pretty quickly. And I'm so thankful to be able to do that, because not only am I able to empower others, but they can then go on to empower others. Do you see what I mean? So as a community, again, it's that factor of we. It's not just about me having money, me being able to have an income. It's a skill I can help other people to learn, and then we can all have an income. So it's so impactful. I'm so grateful for it.
London Town, welcome to the future. Ace Got Talk to the world. This young lady just explained how she trades from her phone. And what she said is all you need is a phone and a Wi-Fi connection. And this isn't new. I've interviewed this lady on the Ace Got Talk Business Community Entrepreneur Show. Shout out to everybody at Supreme 99.8 FM radio. For anyone that's missed the interview, you can pick it up on my YouTube channel, which is Ace Got Talk. And if you go under Supreme FM, it was when did we interview you? Was it last year? Just the end of last year?
Last year, I think.
Last year. So yeah, it's very recent. And this lady elaborates in a lot more detail how she teaches other people to trade in foreign currency and make a passive income stream, literally just using your phone and your Wi-Fi. And like I said, welcome to the future. Yeah, it's time to get digital. It's got to talk to the world. Thanks for sharing that. And I like the fact that you said that it's all about empowerment. You know, it's not about just. This is how we've always rolled in what I like to call the tribe, the business community tribe, that you girls are a part of. Is everything, all what we have, we share. It's all about building each other and sharing the information and sharing the knowledge. There'll be people that sit down like, what you mean, sir? I can make money right now from the phone, and all I need is a Wi-Fi connection. You understand? Yeah, come off Instagram. You understand? Come off Facebook. And come off social media and all them foolishness. The same time you're spending on them apps, you could be making money. You know what I mean? So it's got to talk to the world. This is all about empowerment, and it's not about just the doom and the gloom. It's about putting out. Like my brother, Dr. Jude Joseph said, it's about putting out solutions, right? Like, because it's not about just the gas. It's about what now? Here's a solution to your problem. Sister Tash.
Hey.
Also, I know that you're a momtrepreneur. I started the show. I've got two momtrepreneurs on the line, and it's not a joke thing when you got the momtrepreneurs up in the studio, you know, because like I said, you guys are running things. So tell us how you've been able to continue to make a passive income stream, and how other people, if they want to get involved, can also make a passive income stream from the comfort of their living room during these trying times.
So what I've been doing is actually helping others to realize what skills they have that they can bring online, because the fact is a lot of us are going to have to start looking at different ways of making money. If our job was physical, we need to make it digital. So many businesses who have shop fronts, who I have done consultations for in the past, have approached me to see how they can digitalize their business because they are scared of technology. So one area of my business is to help people to digitalize their business, help them with marketing, and just generally enable their business to run both online and offline, which is important. The second one is, obviously, you know, I'm a financial advisor, so it's all about protection. And these are the times where people need to ensure they've got adequate protection in place, because this is the times what insurance is made for. If you get sick, if you catch corona, there's something for that. If you lose your job, because a lot of people are losing their jobs, I'm getting a lot of phone calls saying that people are being told they need to leave without pay. Again, there's protection for that. So it's really just helping people based upon their situation and circumstances in terms of business, helping them to generate business and change their business model in order to accommodate what's going on in the world right now. And also just making sure that people have adequate protection and also have done their life planning, because again, this can catch anybody. Therefore, we have to have the proper provisions in place in order to make sure we and our family are okay.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And going back to yourself, Nicola, what would you, if anybody out there wants to know more about how you trade currency and make a passive income from their living room, how can they get in touch with yourself, or how maybe you get some more information on what you do and how we can empower them to do what you do?
Okay, well, if anyone wants more information, you can contact me via Instagram at Nicola Carter FX. So that's at Nicola Carter FX on Instagram. Just send me a message and I will be able to get in touch with you, and we'll have a conversation, and I'll explain to you and show you what it is that I'm doing and how you can actually learn to do it for yourself as well. That's the beauty of having an online business. Like, you know, we can still do this. We keep it rolling.
Straight up and down, business as usual over here, baby. Business as usual. And Tasha, if someone wants to get in touch with you possibly about you know, looking at different ways they can utilize their skills or digitize what they do already, how can they get in touch with you, sweetie?
So if you want to get in contact with me, my number is 07378 152 808. That's 07378 152 808. Just send me a WhatsApp or a text and I'll contact you, and we can go through your needs so that you can digitalize your business. Or if you're worried about making an income through this time, we can look at ways that we can utilize your skills to, again, digitalize you and your skills. And if you need protection or some financial advice, because I am a financial advisor and these are the times where people need advice, just give me a call, text, WhatsApp, DM, whatever.
Absolutely amazing. So we brushed over one or two ways that we can make passive income streams from a cover of our living rooms, and I thank you for your input with that. Now, I was going to touch on the FSA stuff as well. So yes, it's important to put it out there that Natasha is a financial advisor, and if anybody at the moment has even got a policy that they're concerned about, or they want to make a claim on, or they've been told that their claim is invalid, get in touch with Natasha, because she's an expert and she can help you through that process. While we're on the subject, do you want to just tell us a little about some of the plans that they're pulling off the market at the moment? Because we had that conversation offline earlier.
Oh yes, so guys, as you know, I'm an insurance broker as well, so I help protect families. Now, I work with all the insurance companies within the UK, and as a result of the coronavirus and us being told to be in quarantine, a number of products have been removed from the market. They've been removed because obviously there'll be a high number of claims, and this is redundancy cover and some elements of income protection. Now, there's still income protection available on the market, but we don't know for how long. So if your income is not protected, I suggest you give me a call, 07378152808, and just go through your options, because if it's gone, it's gone. So utilize these products while they are still on the market. Once they're gone, they're gone, and they are there to help you and protect you. Also, contact me to review your policies. A lot of people have elements in their policies that they can claim for if they contracted the coronavirus. So I'll just go through it with you to make sure you know what you've got. So if something bad does happen, you know where you can go to.
Absolutely fantastic. No, that was brilliant. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. It's good to know. It's good to know. And like I always say, in the village, we have all the resources we need. You just need to know where to tap in and get hold of those resources. And Ace Talk is a one-stop shop for everything we need, and if we haven't got it within the community, we know a man who knows a man who knows a man who knows a man. So brilliant. So sis, I want to thank you for your time today, but before we go, we talked about the finances, and I wanted to just kind of just relax people a little bit, because I know this is a time where people will be panicking, and I've had you two on the line, and I didn't know what angle you was going to come at, but it's refreshing, because how you doing? Yeah, I'm good. How you doing? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I got this. And that's usually the attitude of the sisters. You guys are cool, calm and collect, in control, like Nicholas says, we don't use to stretch food. I've got through hard times already. So it's not a new for us over here, you know what I mean? We just dust it off, another day in the office, so to speak. Let me ask you, and I'm not a mum, but on behalf of all the mums out there, right? How you guys coping on lockdown with the kids, man? How you coping firstly with the kids, and secondly, in fact, I'll do it one at a time. How are we coping on lockdown with the kids? Out to you, Nicola.
Me, I'm okay, like my son, his school has provided online teaching, so he still has to wake up the same time, he has to register online, he has his lessons, he has a break for lunch, he has his afternoon session, and then he's free to do what he needs to do. He's actually in the year of his GCSE, so his actual GCSE exam got cancelled. So it's a case of the work he's done now, the work he's done previously, his mock exams, his coursework, all of that is going to be taken into consideration. And then we'll, have to make a decision about which sixth form he goes to, whether he stays at his current school or moves on. But generally, I'm enjoying it. Like, I love spending time with my son. So, it's nice. We watch movies, we have banter, we make up songs. We're joking about having to go on tour when this lockdown ends, because we're just making up songs on a regular, getting the cutlery out, banging on the table, all that stuff. We're just having fun. We're good.
Yeah, brilliant. And Tash, how you coping?
Yeah, it's an experience. My son's a footballer, so my vase has gone over many times in the house. So I had to do the garden so we can take that outside. The bikes come out, which has not been touched since we've bought it. So there's a lot more things. I'm having to be a bit more inventive and actually spend time to do things, because I've only got the one child, so he can't really entertain himself unless I put him in front of the computer all day long. School learning, oh my gosh, I'm not the best teacher, not the best at everything. So that's been the most challenging for me, is the schoolwork, because I don't think what they've sent for us is enough. So I'm improvising and trying to look at different ways to entertain him. So enrolling him on an online course is what I've done, just so that, again, he can build up skills, and it's not just about the curriculum, it's also about life skills as well. So yeah, we're getting there with the whole education thing.
All right, cool. Engineer, give me a solo. Engineer, give me a solo. Screen. Now, I want to thank the sisters for their positive, input so far in this, video live link up. But I want to change the tone slightly for a minute and just go into a little darker part of the conversation. And I think it's good to shed positivity and shed light, but it's also good to give a balanced approach to the perspective. And literally just before I came on air, I got a phone call from a sister, and I'm not going to name her, but I did ask her, I said, can I mention the conversation that we've just had? And she said to me, yeah, yes, you can. And she called me to tell me that she tried to commit suicide. And she told me the method in which she did it and what she's going through. And I know she's not the only one out there. And as I alluded to, because I do things subliminally, I put it out in a video that, people crack up when they're isolated for long periods of time on their own. And that self-isolation can lead to mental illness. And this can't be taken for a joke. So I want people to focus on being positive and focus on keeping their minds active. And really, it was a question I was going to ask, actually, these two sisters, in regards to how do you distill the fake news from the real news? Because there's so much stuff being pumped out there, and a lot of it is designed to cause fear and panic and alarm, and these things weaken our immune systems. And fear and stress is the biggest killer known to man, bigger than all them other diseases put together. So I just want to say to all those people that are not feeling so positive right now, that our thoughts and our prayers are with you, and you need to hold your head up and stay strong. And to the sister that called me just before I went on air, I even have to kind of say to her, sister, I'm about to go online, but I'll call you back after, because she called me. And this is the sister I've known for years, big woman, kids, everything. And for her to call me, and she even goes, Ace, I don't talk like this, but as she opened it, I said, I tried to protect my own life. And that is just through the pressure that the system is putting on people, financial pressure, and we need to take this thing seriously. So people, hold your head up high and stay strong. Engineer, give me back a split screen. Give me a split screen. God bless you, sisters. But I needed to share that story because it's important that we give a balanced perspective on things, because although we might be sitting there and we might be smiling and saying, yeah, we're fine and we're having a whale of a time, and yeah, it's a great time to spend with the kids. The other side of it, and I have to be true, we might have lost Nicola there, is that there are people that are going through a lot of torment and a lot of psychological trauma. Self-isolation isn't an easy thing to do. And I can run jokes like I did at the start of this conversation, and I could say, welcome back, Nicola. We lost you for a minute, sweetie. I'm just wrapping up by saying, even though we can be very positive and we can channel that positivity, and I'm really happy that you two are in good situations where you're self-sufficient, you're keeping your heads up, you're keeping your spirits up, and that's absolutely amazing. We need to still be mindful for those that aren't in such positive places and aren't in such great spaces, because everything is yin and yang balance. And there are people out there that are going through a lot of depression right now. And this self-isolation, it does drive on, it does push things like depression, anxiety, stress, people that drink, the alcohol consumption goes up, people's drug intake goes up, all of these things we have to be aware of. Suicide rate goes up right now, mental health goes up right now, depression goes up right now. So these things we have to be mindful of and be aware of, and be aware of the people around us. I know that are being self-isolated and left with, because we have to understand where I'm coming from, girls.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that little bit of balance out there. What's your thoughts on the subject matter, Natasha?
Do you know what? I see a lot of people, and what I do see is that a lot of people are literally one paycheck away from poverty. And because of that will provide a lot of pressure for those people, because if work is telling you they're not going to pay you or business is closing down, your world will crash. Because if you are one paycheck away and you're living in overdraft, excuse my language, it's peak. It really is, because you don't know which way you're going to go. The government's going to help people, but when he's got corona, how's he going to work? What are we going to do? So there is an element of panic and fear there. But to all those people who are experiencing that, you need to be calm within yourself so that you can then realize a solution. If you try to resolve something through panic, it's not going to be resolved properly. It's going to be half-heartedly done. So you need to first calm yourself internally and then deal with the externals. Ask for help. Don't be proud. There's never a moment where you should feel too proud to ask for help from people who love you. And that's what we don't do in our community. We'd rather sit and suffer in silence than reach out to people who actually do love us. So we've got technology now. Let's use it to stay in touch with people and not feel so lonely and isolated, because we've got FaceTime, we've got WhatsApp calling. Just pick up the phone, talk to somebody, have a house party through your phone if you need to lift up your spirits. And look at ways that you can make money. There's many ways online that you can make money. And if you need an idea, give me a call. It's as simple as that. I'm here to help my community. So not just financially, but also mentally. I think it's important to have people you can go to. And if you don't, find someone mutual or neutral.
Yeah. And Nicola?
I can definitely second what Natasha said in terms of reach out. Do not sit and suffer in silence and think that there's no hope. There is always hope. There is always a way. There is always a solution. Maybe you don't have it, but someone has it. So reach out and talk. Another thing I can say is, obviously I'm a trader, but a big part of trading is mindset. It's your psychology. It's the way you think. And I've been very careful during this time, which is probably why I'm so upbeat, to protect my mental space. And that means filtering out the things that you're getting through your phone. Your phone is a device which is literally feeding you constantly. If you think how many times people check their phone, it's crazy. The stuff that is coming through your phone is so damaging, and people send it not thinking about who's receiving it, because the person receiving it may not be in that space to take that constant bombardment of misinformation, bad information. They're not going to know what's good and what's not. It's just panic. And so people need to take responsibility for what we each put out into the universe, for what we each put out into the world. Because we can be doing, oh yeah, we're going to share this information, but for someone else, that's damaging them. It's chipping away at them every single time you send messages. So we need to be able to protect our mental space, think about the mental space of others, and also make, like Natasha said, use technology for its benefit, which is actually to reach out and connect and say, hey, are you okay? How you been? Has anyone come to see you? Do you want to chat? It doesn't have to be about anything. Just sometimes pass the breeze. You know what I mean? Just see how they are. It'll go so far to getting us through this.
Absolutely. You and Natasha are both just breaths of fresh air. You know what I mean? You're just like two beacons of light glowing. Tash, do you want to add anything to what Nicola just said?
Yeah, I just think keep the positivity alive, keep it flowing. Turn off your phone sometimes as well. Sometimes you've got to turn that off, turn off the TV, because You can't control what's coming through there if it's coming from external sources, but you can control what's going on in your four walls or in your brain, which is what's the most important, keeping that mental state sane. Because this is a time where it's either sink or swim, really, isn't it? And therefore, we all got to come out here swimming, getting out of that pool and keeping on going. So in order to do that, we have to focus on mind, body, spirit, and soul, and align those whilst we can be still. Because once those doors open up again and we're all free, it's back to possibly what we were doing before and what people were complaining about before. So just keep the positive energy alive, peeps.
Exactly. Ace, can I add one more thing as well? Sorry.
You can add as much as you like, sweetie.
One thought just came to me as well. So, you know, some people are not religious, some people are. But one thing that I strongly believe is that faith and fear cannot coexist in the same space. Of faith, there is no room for fear. Pick one.
Say it again. Start again. Fear and faith cannot coexist in the same space. Start again.
They can't. Okay, if you're a person of faith, faith and fear cannot coexist in the same space. Okay, if you are a person of faith, you know this will work itself out. You will be okay. There is nothing that can hurt you. There is nothing that can harm you. They can damage the body. They cannot damage the mind or the soul. Okay, just have faith. Have faith, people. Stay strong.
Definitely. Just to pick up on a few things that you both said there, it's got to let off some gems myself today, or up to them. So Natasha's talked about sinking or swimming. I always say that it's not about survival of the fittest. It's about survival of the most suitable. You know, because you could run faster than me, but if you can't swim, when the water comes, you're gonna drown. But if I can run and I can swim, I can adapt to different environments. Yeah, a crocodile finds his strength in the river. If you judge a fish by his ability to climb a tree, he will always think he's stupid. It's got talk. I'll say it again. A crocodile finds his strength in the river. If you judge a fish by his ability to climb a tree, that fish will always think he's stupid. So it's not necessarily survival of the fittest, it's about survival of the most suitable. I love what Nicholas said about the mind, body, and spirit. And it takes me back to a very, very well documented story about a very famous psychologist who was around during the World War, and he actually got kidnapped. Not kidnapped, sorry. He got held as a prisoner of war, and he went to a concentration camp, and he got tortured. Stay with me. A very famous psychologist was in World War. He got caught up in the World War, and he got kidnapped and taken as a prisoner of war. He got taken to a concentration camp, and during that time, he was tortured. But do you know what he discovered during his torture? The last thing to go is the mind. It doesn't matter what you do to me physically, it's all about how I interpret up here and perceive what's taking place. Am I making sense? So if while you're torturing me, I perceive that as the worst thing in the world, it's going to be a very unpleasant experience for me. But if while you're torturing me, I decide that no matter what you do to me, you can't break my mind, body, and spirit, things start to look a bit different. I give it to him in layman's terms before, when I said it's all about the glass. How do you perceive your glass, as half full or half empty? It all falls down to the person who's looking at the glass and and their interpretation of what's going on around them. So yeah, it's about switching off the noise, because there's a lot of noise going on at the moment, you know, and we get that through the mainstream media, which we know is biased and have got a history and a propensity to tell lies. And I could go through a whole list, and I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother the general public. I mean, what about when Tony Blair was looking for weapons of mass destruction and that turned out to be a lie? What weapons? We could go through the list of them. So we know the Western media and mainstream media have got a propensity to tell a lot of lies. So yeah, it's about switching off from the noise. It's about switching off from all, like Nicholas said, all what's going on your phone, because a lot of those WhatsApps is just a lot of fear and panic, and people put out a lot of stuff and not really being mindful of who's receiving it and how they might take that information. And so I think it's about just going back to basics. You know, what I would like to say is trusting your inner compass. You know, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, would you like to? That was the A Scott Talk summary of today's A Scott Talk Momtrepreneurs special. Shout out to MediaNet Live TV and the producers and all the team that work effortlessly behind the scenes to make this happen. But ladies, that was my summary. Do you just both want to give the listeners at home a quick summary before we lock off? Tasha.
Sure. Summary, I just want to say we're on lockdown, so just keep safe, keep social distancing, and use this time to love your family, plan your future, learn new skills, and remain positive. And if you need help, reach out to the Real Talk Radio Foundation, reach out to friends and family if you need to. Just keep yourself active internally, externally, and if you need help, ask for it.
Summary of today's show and moving forward is be financially savvy. Do not worry, simply strategize. So if you see things that you can improve on them. If there are things you need help with, reach out, someone will be able to help you. Also, take time to reconnect with your family. Take time to reach out to those who may be alone, who may be vulnerable and need assistance or need help or just need someone just to talk to. Be mindful of other people. It's not about a me situation, it's a we situation. So look after those around you. And also protect your mind, protect your energy, and have faith. Everything will be okay. It will work out for the best.
Yeah. Give me a solar engineer, give me a solar engineer. Right? So yeah, A Scott Talk, as you know, I've been in community activist, offline for the last 2 decades, online since I won the World Motivational Speaker Competition 2019, and I vowed from the day I won the competition that I would motivation is a mission, not a competition. It's Scott Talk, the gold. It's Scott Talk. I'm the Golden Mic champ. And from the day that I won the Golden Mic, I vowed that motivation is a mission, not a competition. And I've been a community activist doing various different things, community projects, and all different kinds of things. It's too long to go into right now. In my community to make sure that I support my community through the most trying of times. Of late, we've been starting what I call a rice appeal. We secured some containers of rice, and we've been distributing that and other dry goods out to our community. I want to shout out to even, you won't believe this, but Packs. Yeah, Packs. You know, Packs that sell hair care products. Packs Food that have donated dried rice and tinned goods to Real Talk Radio, CIC, in support of everything we're doing. I also want to shout out to Blue Mountain Pink in Harlesden, and I point out those 2 organizations because they're 2 Asian-owned organizations, but they recognize what Real Talk Radio was doing on behalf of A Scott Talk in the community, and they also supported fresh fruit and vegetation, which we've spent all week bagging up and delivering shopping out to the elderly and the vulnerable in the community. As I put out earlier, by the end of today on www.realtalkradio.co.uk, on the help services page, we'll have 2 forms available for you to fill out. One for anybody that needs help and support, and the other for any volunteers that want to get involved and help support what we're doing in the community at these trying times. I want to say a big thank you goes out to all the volunteers that have been supporting the community so far, and anybody that and thanks to all the donors that have been making donations, because it's all non-profit, it's all legible, and all donations go to supporting our vulnerable members of the community with groceries, food and provisions at this time. If you'd like to make a donation, you can go to www.info.co.uk and click on the help services page. So London Town, join me. I'm A Scott Talk. As you know, I'm the winner of the World Motivational Speaker Competition 2019. I'm an urban motivational legend and I'm a radio presenter. Join me tomorrow, usual time. A Scott Talk is business as usual. A Scott Talk is business as usual. Join me at the usual time, 1 till 4, Supreme 99.8 FM for the A Scott Talk business, community, entrepreneur show. We'll be doing a weekly roundup of everything that's been going on with this coronavirus. And tomorrow, I'm going to let off because I ain't really spoke too much about how me feeling. But tomorrow, I'm going to tell them how I feel live on radio. And I'm going to be covering whatever Nick Ferrari and whatever card Nick Ferrari and James O'Brien, whatever they're going to open their mouth and say in the morning. Yeah, I'm going to cover that 1 till 4, Supreme 99.8 FM. And then after that, the big one in the evening, business as usual. A Scott Talk I'll be broadcasting live from MediaNet TV studios. I want some boy I feel like. Shout out to the MediaNet Live TV. When we go back in the studio tomorrow, it's Monday, so back. I'll be on 6 p.m. live. You can join in live, live stream, live chat, and we're going to be doing what we do every week. A Scott Talk, our Fury show, MediaNet Live TV. So until then, everybody stay blessed. You know, and as in the words of the great Bob Marley, yeah, don't let them fool you, oh no, or even try to school you, oh no, we've got a mind of our own. Till next time, A Scott Talk, MediaNet TV, saludos!